People are sharing the creepiest unsolved mysteries that they can't stop thinking about. So I decided to look into the details of each one. Brandon Swanson's case always boggled my mind. The fact that he alerted his parents that he was lost and needed help. They were on the phone with him, heading toward him, only to hear his last moments. To know they were so close is so terrifying. Recently, Reddit user uRandomWeeb asked the people of r/Ask Reddit to share the creepiest unsolved mystery that keeps them up at night. After reading through some of these, I will definitely not be sleeping soundly for the next couple of days. Here are the most bone-chilling cases. Warning: disturbing and graphic content ahead. 32. D.B. Cooper. Happened in the state I grew up in, and it's just wild. They have found some of the money, but the guy was never definitively identified. What happened? D.B. Cooper is the pseudonym of an unidentified man who hijacked a plane on November 24, 1971. After the hijacker demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000, the flight landed in Seattle. There, the flight's passengers were exchanged for the ransom money and parachutes. The flight then took off again and headed for Mexico City. But somewhere between Seattle and Reno, the hijacker jumped out of the plane with a parachute and the money. The hijacker has not been found to this day. However, there are many theories about who he was. Side note: the hijacker bought his plane ticket under the name Dan Cooper, and after a misunderstanding, the media thought it was D.B. Cooper, and the wrong fake name has stuck ever since. 33. The disappearance of Asha Degree. Why did she leave the house in the middle of the night? Was she meeting someone? Was it someone the family knew? So many questions. What happened? 9-year-old Degree was living in Shelby, North Carolina, when she went missing on February 14, 2000. She left her home early that morning, sometime between 2:30 a.m. and 6:30 a.m., and walked along a nearby highway where several motorists reportedly saw her. Apparently, one person went back to check on her and said she disappeared into the woods. There is still a $45,000 award being offered for any information that may lead to finding her. 34. The disappearance of Ann Mineko Ratz in Newhall, California, in 1991. Although Ann's body has never been found, she is believed to have been murdered by her estranged husband, a former L.A. County Sheriff's Sergeant, John Ratz. She was a mother who was in the process of divorcing her former Sheriff's Sergeant husband to be with her high school sweetheart. Her body has never been found, but even her oldest child is convinced the husband, is guilty. In August 2007, John Ratz was convicted of murdering Ann from circumstantial evidence. Although Ratz denied his guilt in the courtroom, the conviction was upheld by an appeals court in 2010. 35. The cryptic case of Franchesca Alvarado, who disappeared while on a trip to Atlantic City with an unidentified older man in 2012. Franchesca Alvarado was a 22-year-old single mom from Philadelphia who went to Atlantic City with a male friend in 2012 and never returned. The male acquaintance and her roommate were suspected, but nothing ever came about. Her family never got answers from the police, no search party, nothing. They had to Google search constantly "body found" or "human remains" to get answers. Several months after she disappeared, they got a hit. A fisherman found her shoe with her foot fully intact inside. They continued searching, eventually finding her tibia and femur, after which they would personally request with each medical examiner to see if it was their sister's. That was the last they found of her, and had to bury what they could. Still to this day, no arrests have been made. She was a beautiful, bright girl. I'll never forget her smile. She went to school with some friends of mine who had nothing but good things to say about her. So sad her daughter and family never got answers. 36. Tracy Pitman, a vibrant woman in her 30s, vanished without a trace on April 26, 1998, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a community desperate for answers. The small town of Wetumpka, Alabama, was forever changed by the mysterious disappearance of this beloved daughter, mother, and friend. Tracy, standing tall at 5'10" and weighing around 140 pounds, possessed a distinctive appearance. Her brown frosted hair framed her face, accentuating her captivating hazel-green eyes. On that fateful day, she was dressed in pink shorts, a white floral top, and white tennis shoes. Adorned with earrings and marked by a C-section scar on her abdomen, she possessed unique identifiers that could help bring her home. To understand the events leading up to Tracy's disappearance, we delve into her life. Tracy Lee Pitman was born on March 15, 1968, in Montgomery, Alabama, to Stephen and Linda Pitman. Love blossomed, and she found companionship in Greg Kegley, eventually marrying him in 1993. The couple established their home on Fairfield Drive in Montgomery. 3 years into their marriage, Tracy's joy multiplied with the birth of a beautiful baby girl in November 1995. However, life took an unexpected turn, and Tracy and Greg decided to separate in 1997. In an amicable agreement, both parties signed the necessary divorce documents in February 1998, officially dissolving their marriage on April 11, 1998. The separation brought about new challenges for Tracy, who now faced the daunting task of finding a job and a new home. Seeking support and solace, she moved in with her parents at their Lake Martin residence near Eclectic, Alabama. Determined to carve out a better future, Tracy secured a job at a local dentist's office, scheduled to begin on April 27, 1998. On April 26, however, tragedy struck. Tracy and her daughter embarked on a routine errand run in her white 1993 Geostorm. As the evening sun dipped below the horizon, they made a stop at the BP gas station near the intersection of Highway 231 North and Redland Road in Wetumpka. Surveillance footage captured Tracy pumping gas and proceeding into the store to settle the bill. But what transpired afterward remains shrouded in mystery. The following morning, a concerned local resident stumbled upon Tracy's Geostorm parked near Old Georgia Road, approximately 2 miles east of the gravel pits on Highway 170. Tracy's daughter, miraculously unharmed but left alone, remained in the vehicle. Alarmed, the individual promptly contacted the Elmore County Sheriff's Office. When investigators arrived at the scene, they made chilling discoveries. Tracy's car sat with the keys in the auxiliary position, the radio humming softly, and her purse left behind. Strangely, the windows were rolled down 2 to 3 inches, and witnesses recall the engine still running. Authorities initially believed that Tracy and her daughter were en route to her parents' house. However, the presence of road construction on a portion of Highway 170 made it unlikely that Tracy would have taken that route instead of an alternative path. Despite numerous searches, including dives into nearby quarries, no concrete information regarding Tracy's whereabouts emerged. Desperate to find their daughter, Tracy's parents erected billboards throughout the area, urging anyone with crucial information to come forward. They even offered a substantial reward, which increased each year in the hope of incentivizing leads. Yet these tireless efforts yielded no breakthroughs. Within a year, Tracy's case was transferred to the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation as hopes dim and leads grew scarce. The once vibrant investigation began to wane, leaving Tracy's loved ones trapped in a perpetual state of anguish and yearning. The pain of her absence never subsided, and the weight of grief bore heavily upon their hearts. We know who you are, and if you don't come, see us very soon. We will be coming to see you. District Attorney Randall Houston, 2018, Montgomery Advertiser. In a gesture of support and determination, Governor Kay Ivey issued a $10,000 reward for any information that could lead to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for Tracy's disappearance. The community rallied behind this cause, clinging to the flickering hope that justice would prevail and their cherished Tracy would finally come home. Years turned into decades, and the search for Tracy Pitman continued, albeit with diminishing resources. The once bustling investigation had dwindled, but the love for Tracy burned as brightly as ever within the hearts of her family and friends. Their unwavering devotion fueled their pursuit of the truth, never allowing the memories of Tracy to fade. Today, the small town of Wetumpka still carries the weight of Tracy's absence, a reminder of the enduring mysteries that haunt its streets. The community remains united, their collective desire to bring Tracy home serving as a beacon of hope. They stand resolved, determined to uncover the truth that has eluded them for far too long. Tracy Pitman's story serves as a reminder of the countless individuals who vanish, leaving behind fractured communities and hearts burdened with unanswered questions. As time marches on, the longing for resolution only grows stronger. It is our shared responsibility to keep their stories alive, to shine a light on the forgotten, and to tirelessly seek justice. For Tracy and others like her, the quest for answers continues, refusing to be silenced until the truth is revealed and they can find their way back home. 37. The violent murder of Katie Janice and her partner's dog Bowie, who were found stabbed to death outside the entrance to Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia, in 2021. How have there been no updates on a Jack the Ripper-style murder that happened in Atlanta's most popular park? After going out for a walk with Bowie and not returning home, Janice's partner Emma Clark allegedly tracked them with her iPhone and found them dead near the park entrance. Clark then called police, who arrived around 1 a.m. Unfortunately, the park's security cameras were inactive reportedly because of outdated technology. So there's no footage of what exactly happened. According to an autopsy report, Janice died from sharp force injuries of her face, neck, and torso, after sustaining more than 50 stab wounds. It was also reported that the letters F, A, and T had been carved into her torso. A necropsy was also done on Bowie to see if any DNA could be extracted. However, the results of that have not been publicly released. Although there have been many tips, the case remains unsolved. 38. The strange disappearance of 16-year-old Ruth Wilson in Box Hill, Surrey, England in 1995. It is still unsolved. Her parents afterward acted in such a weird way. It's also knowing who to believe: the taxi driver, her friends, her parents. Leading up to her disappearance, there's conflicting information that Ruth was unhappy at home. Ruth had discovered that her mother had died by suicide after her father had told her she fell down the stairs, and she allegedly did not have a good relationship with her stepmother. On the day she disappeared, she had skipped school, went to a flower shop to buy flowers for her stepmother, requesting they be delivered the following week, and was last seen by a taxi driver who dropped her off near a pub that night. According to the taxi driver, Ruth appeared to be waiting for someone to pick her up as she stood still in the rain. It is unknown what happened to her after that. A documentary on her disappearance, Vanished, the Surrey Schoolgirl, was released in 2018.